Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Today is Monday, March 14th. Oh my goodness, this month is half over already. That means our spring weather is definitely here. We had almost 60 degrees today, 58, 59. It was gorgeous outside, even though I was inside most of the day. It was nice to go out after work without a coat on. So let's watch for some people to come in. I'm going to get it up on my computer so I can watch for comments. So definitely say hi so I know that you are watching. There's Annie, yay. Okay, so let me get me up here so that I can watch for your comments. All right, Becky White is on, Helen's on time, woohoo, Sharon's here, so we got a bunch of you watching already. I shared earlier on my own Facebook page our remodel downstairs. As you can see, I'm not in my stamp area. I'm upstairs in our living room, so you can see the kitchen and the coffee and my grandkids, which are old pictures, but this room also got a little bit of an overhaul with some new furniture, and it's waiting on paint also. This is an old Stampin' Up! Color, Cranberry Crisp, so it's time for a lighter color in here too, but downstairs comes first. Flooring got put in today. It was supposed to be 3 days and they did it in one. So I am very excited. Tony's downstairs tonight working on the ceiling and getting pieces in down there. Our furniture is supposed to be delivered on Friday, and then I have to pick paint out so that we can get that done. But we ordered the furniture back in October and I don't remember what color it is. Tony and I both disagreed on it, and then he found paperwork that he was right, of course. So I'm going to wait until I see that, and then we'll go get paint so that we can be ready to do that. So hopefully by the end of the month, I will be all back in a nice new shiny area. But for now, I'm working in the living room, which is tables here and a table over there and piles of stuff everywhere. So we will get there though, right? Okay, hopefully you had a great weekend. Okay, hi Sheila. Who else is on? Cheryl's on. Sue Coomber, Jackie, Sharon Levodnik. So yay. Thanks for joining tonight. Don't forget to share the video and leave some comments, and we'll do some drawings again. Tonight we're going to focus on the Waves of the Ocean collection. It's a new collection that started at the beginning of March, and with retreat and everything, I didn't have any time to be able to do any playing with it. So did a little searching, found some things that I did a little casing with, and I want to share with you tonight. So we're going to go ahead and move the camera down, and then we will get started. Let's get my finger out of the way. All right, let me get my camera thing down and somewhat straightened out. Hopefully this area works decent once I get all the cords and everything out of the way. All right, we have an hot light here so that I can hopefully have some light decent. And then I have another light back here. Tina's on with us tonight, yay. All right, we need to scoot this all, or we need to scoot this. All right, hi Linda Vanderspool. All right, okay, I think that will do. Okay, so this is the Waves of the Ocean collection. It is, and there's a really pretty little picture here, but I'm going to flip it over so that it's a little easier to see. Here is the stamp set and dies. The dies are awesome. These are carrying over into the annual catalog that begins the beginning of May. Then there is beautiful designer paper, foil, and rhinestones. These are only while supplies last. These will not be carrying over into the annual catalog. So for sure by May 1st, they'll be gone. They may sell out sooner than that. So let's take a peek at the designer paper first. Okay, so let's see. We have shades and shades of blue. All right, let's get them spread out here. Again, my camera setup and everything is different. So, okay, so look at this. The artists that designed this, they did it with canvas, and they just did the pouring technique with inks or with paints. and then photographed the finished product. So look at how pretty that is. We got some Coastal Cabana going on. We've got navies and Pacific Point and Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green. And then look at how cool that is with some fun yellows. And then this one's really cool too. And then cut those things, those waves out. Awesome. Calypso Coral. That'll be a fun one to do some things with. This one I really like with the waves. And then the back side is some of the darker Calypso Coral, a little bit of like petal pink and some yellows. Another fun, just splotchy. And then the back side of this. There's a fun wave for you. And then there's combinations of all of the colors. Look at how cool that is. Okay. And then, so that's the designer paper. And then there is foil. And so let's see how well that will show in Coastal Cabana. Nice reflection of me. A little Pacific Point. And then what we always love is some fun silver. Okay. So that's all part of the collection. And then these, I absolutely love, the rhinestones. We'll be using some of those on projects coming up, not just with this collection. Okay, and then there is the stamp set, which I showed you a little bit, and then the coordinating dies. Okay, so we're going to start with just the stamp set, and we're going to do a super simple card. This card I saw by a demonstrator friend, Jackie Bolheis, and I thought it was an awesome way to show the stamp set. All right, we need to get this light in here a little bit different because we've got some good shadows going on here. Okay, a little better, maybe not. Okay, so I took the card that Jackie did, and I changed out some colors, and I want to show you how fun this wave image is, okay? Stamparatus is amazing for this, and so I just stuck it right on there. I'm going to start with, and I should have probably started with a bigger piece of white and cut it down, but this actually worked quite well for me this way, so. Okay, I am just going to put the basic white on there. And I'm going to hold it in place with my magnet. And I'm actually going to line it right up so that if it moves, I know where it needs to go. All right, then my inks, I put in a perfectly safe spot. Okay, we are going to start with Pool Party. And we're going to ink up this whole wave with Pool Party. And we're going to stamp it down. And we're just going to put some good even pressure on it. And my table, I apologize, my table's doing a little wobbling, so you're getting a little bit of a blurry. Okay, that's pretty all by itself, right? Now, let's add a little bit of depth to that wave. We're going to use some Coastal Cabana. And we're going to use a sponge dauber. And we're just going to add some ink all over my finger. And we're just kind of adding it in places. We're not doing the whole thing again. And then we're going to stamp it again. With the Stamparatus, it stays right in the same spot, so we're stamping right over our last one. Okay. We got a little bit of darkness going on in there. So we have a little bit of, so you can see here, there's some light, there's some dark. Now we're going to pull Bermuda Bay in and another sponge dauber. And then we're going to really give it some darkness right on the end and right in this one. And then how about right along the top edge of this. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's close the ink up out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp that down right over the top of the other two colors. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining. Okay, and then, look, we've got some Bermuda Bay in there. So we've got 3 different colors going on within our wave. Okay, we're going to move that out of the way. And then I'm going to pull in the Happy Birthday and Memento ink. Are you ready for this? This card doesn't have any dimensionals on it. And you know what? I should have done this on the Stamparatus also. Then you know that you're getting it straight. Well, that's not too bad. Okay, and then we're still going to use the Stamparatus, and we're going to use the seagull. And we're going to add a couple of seagulls on here. Whoops, I got a little heavy-handed there. Let's put that there. All right, now find my pieces again. Okay, so this piece of basic white I started out with is, let's see, 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. And then I have a piece of Coastal Cabana that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. We're just going to adhere this onto this. And then we're going to adhere it onto a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 Bermuda Bay. Okay. And then my card base is thick basic white. That is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So we're just going to fold it on the score line. Use our bone folder to crisp it really good. And then we're just going to adhere this right down flat. So that we have a nice white border around the whole thing. And our card is done. And I have a little eraser that I can use that to get some of that ink off. Okay? And then you have room to be able to write your little happy birthday greeting inside. And that's just pretty. You could take a little bit of Wink of Stella and add onto the wave to give it a little bit more shimmer. Pretty, pretty. Okay, then I saw another card that I really liked that has a lot more little techniques to it. So we started again with a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 basic, thick basic white. Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana are my favorite colors, Becky. Love them. All right, so there's our basic white base. And then I have another layer of Bermuda Bay that's 4 by 5 1/4. And let me look at my sample. Yeah, I can go ahead and I can put that right down onto the card base. We're going to eliminate some layers here, or add layers to the card and eliminate pieces on my workspace. Okay, then I have a piece of 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 basic white, and I've embossed it already with the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder. And so we're just going to stick that right down. Okay, all right, now we're going to set that off to the side, and we're going to start pulling in some other pieces here. Okay, we have a So Saffron and a basic white that goes with it. We have a soft suede with a basic white to go with it. We have a kind of scrap of basic white, another scrap of basic white, and then I already pre-cut 2 clouds from the die set. Okay, so we are going to start first with the seagull, and he's standing on some little pilers. All right, those need to go out of my way. And we're going to use soft suede. And we're just going to ink him up and stamp him down. We're going to use the dies to cut him out. so I don't have to worry about that overhang part. And then I'm going to pull in the words, "You're so totally awesome." And we're going to stamp that on this smaller white. Okay. And we're done with the soft suede. Cheryl loves these colors. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and adhere this. Again, just to eliminate some pieces for now. And set that over there. We're gonna go ahead and pull in our mini cut embossment machine. Our mini boss. Okay. And then we are going to, let's get some of these out of the way here. I don't know if you guys have seen this Post-it tape. This one's a real thin one, but it's awesome for holding your dies in place. Okay, so we're just going to line our seagull up in there. We're going to tape the die on there. And then we are going to send it through. Sorry. See if I can do it without wiggling too much. All right, let's get this back out of the way. And then it just pops right out. If you're doing a bunch of them, this tape will hold in place for quite a few of them. Cheryl didn't think that piece would fit. Isn't that funny? How different things look in perspective. Okay, so we've got our seagull, we've got our clouds. Let's do this one next, this scrap piece. And we're gonna pull our wave back in again. And we're just going to put it, and it really doesn't matter where we put it. We are going to trim it down. And I forgot. We're going to do the exact same technique. Uh-oh, it looks like we lost video. Come on. All right, we're back, maybe. I'm going to give it a second or two here. I'm back, just making sure that we're not losing it again. Okay, so we just put the basic white down. I am going to use Pool Party again, just like I did before. This time, I don't really care about the wave at the top. I only really care about the bottom part. Okay, and so I'm just going to stamp it on there. And then we're going to do the exact same thing again. We are going to use some of the Coastal Cabana. And we're going to add some of that on here. And we're going to stamp that down. And then we're going to add some of the Bermuda Bay so that we get some dark areas. And you don't, as you can see, you don't really need a lot. Okay, let's close this one up too so I don't just stick something in it. Okay. And then we're going to stamp that one down. Okay, we are done with our wave. And then we're going to pull the paper trimmer in here. And we're just going to trim this down. And we are going to cut the white off the bottom because all I really want is the colored section. Let's see if we can do it like this, and we're going to go right about 5/8 of an inch. Okay, and then we're going to go about 2.5 inches. Okay, so all I have is just a section of the water. Now we're going to take our other basic white, and we're going to pull in shades of yellow. We're going to start with So Saffron. Let's get those completely out of the way. And we're going to start with a blending brush, and you're going to pick up some ink. Okay, we used these last week. You're going to start off on your scratch paper, and we're just going over. You can go down quite a ways. We're more concerned with the top portion. Okay. I'm going to leave that open for right now. And then we're going to pull in Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to use, because if I'm making multiples, I don't want to reuse that same brush, because then I'm going to pick up darker color, and I don't want that. Okay, and I'm going to start on the bottom, and I'm going to work my way up, but I'm not going clear to the top. I just want to darken the bottom half. We're going for a little bit of a sunset. Okay, so there you can see the lighter at the top, and then we've got some darker. Cheryl, you would love these blending brushes. You would absolutely love them. All right, and then we're going to pull in a third brush. And again, remember, we can just rinse these brushes out when we're done. We don't have to use a separate one for every color all the time. Okay, and then we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going heavier, kind of heavier in the center, like the sun's kind of setting in there. We are going to put this down at the very bottom of it, so we don't have to worry too much about that part. But you don't want to end up with a light section down there either. All right, and I'm going to pull back in that So Saffron one because I got some lighter spots here. See, Sue says too, you will love them. They are so much fun. All the different techniques and things that you can do with them. I don't know yet if we're going to use those at Cabin Fever. I'm still working on designing. Okay, so now, before I attach it to this one, oh goodness, we're losing signal again, or I am on my computer anyways. Okay, hopefully we're back again. It looks like it. Okay, now I'm going to take my wave, and I'm going to attach it to the very bottom of this. And I cut it a little longer intentionally. Yeah, we got some really bad connection tonight. The video is going to be fuzzy. Okay. And I'm just trimming the excess off. And yes, ma'am, just rinse it with water. Just take it to the sink and rinse it. You will see that it kind of stains it a little bit, but the color does not stay on it. Okay, so now we have this. We're going to go ahead and attach this to our So Saffron layer. There you go. Helen says she uses a little dish soap too. So far, all I've had to use is just some water on it. It is awesome. Okay, so now we have this. So now we're going to build, and we need our dimensionals. Let's see, before we do that, we are going to, no, I'm not. I am going to do it. No, I'm not. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. We're going to go ahead and attach this piece onto our card base with no dimensionals. Okay. And so, I don't know, I'm about a ½ inch up from the bottom and a little more than a ¼ inch on the right side. Okay, now we're going to start adding dimensionals. For those of you who thought maybe I wasn't going to use dimensionals tonight. Okay. All right, and then we're going to add him, and we're going to cover this bottom right corner a little bit. Isn't he just cute? I love it. All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on our clouds. And I'm just cutting scrap pieces. Oh, Sue, you should be back again. I can see it on all of mine. We got beautiful weather, but we've got crazy internet tonight. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of set this here for a minute, and then I'm going to add my cloud, and then I'm going to add my other cloud, And then we're going to use dimensionals to attach our greeting. Right about there. And then I want that, and I want my soft suede again. And so we're going to use our seagulls. I just want to make sure I get that cleaned off good. And we're just going to add a couple of seagulls. Try to light touch it. And look at how pretty that is. Okay, again, like last week's with the masks, these blending brushes just give you such a beautiful, beautiful background. So yay, Becky likes the card. So let me clear so that there's a little space here. So there's our first or our second card. And there is, let's get the one that doesn't have the blotchies. Okay, and there's our first card. So again, I just opened this set tonight because I knew I wanted to use it. And this is just the start of what you could do with this. There's lots and lots of other things. Yeah, kind of falling in love with the seagulls. I agree. This is actually why I bought the set. I just loved this and then the little images up here. And so finally it was like, okay, I have to do this. And then this I thought was so much prettier than what I expected it to be. And especially I want to do it in some blues. That's what Jackie did. This card, Amy Knenders, and I don't know for sure how she says it. I just added my layers in on this one because that's what I do. These cards are great. I'm going to have to place an order now. I know, isn't it? I mean, this is, and again, the papers, these things that we use tonight, those will carry over into the new catalog, but the papers and the rhinestones, we could add a couple of rhinestones down here or a couple, within the clouds just to give that a little more pretty. So that is the Oceans of the Waves. This is the current host code. If anybody does want to place an order, I will be having an order going in, but you can place it and have it shipped directly to your house. And you can make these awesome cards also. So for now, you guys have a great week. I am going to hopefully get my stamp area back again. And it's getting dark out, which means the shadows are getting worse. So now you can imagine if I turn this light off, this is what I'm stamping in right now. I'm like, oh, but when we get downstairs, there are lights everywhere. So it will be awesome. So for now, you guys have a great week and I will see you next Monday. Good night.